Yeah.
Hey sis, you know that dead drop you're supposed to deliver later?
So?
That's changed. That money belongs to somebody who gave me counterfeits instead of paying me. I need you to take that money and stash it underneath the cushion in the white chair by the front door. Then make a decoy and leave it at the usual.
They're gonna blame me for the decoy.
They won't. Would they?
Definitely like the dark and gritty vibe, the aesthetic that they had going on there. It definitely carries through the whole film. It just felt really just real and grounded. There's some really good performances too, and I don't know why I got the impression that the filmmaker wanted the Trans Am to be the biggest part that it could be in this film, maybe even a character itself. I don't know why. Maybe because we opened cold on it. I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was delightful. Definitely worth checking out.
I loved that kind of raw, little bit of a gritty feeling to the entire piece. And it was really excellent storytelling. It didn't feel cliched in any way for me. I think we learned so much about her and kind of understood how she got to where she was just from that act of her lighting her own birthday candles and nobody remembering her on her birthday. So I think that definitely carried through the piece, and I felt like I was aligned with her in a different way, and she was a really interesting protagonist to follow through. Really interesting story too. I thought it was well written.
I know I felt like really sad for the main character because it felt like she was celebrating her birthday alone, and that made me feel sad because I wanted to know more about that and why like where like the people in her life were. And I think that is like something that I kind of like kept throughout the story, like wondering what her background story was and what she was going through. And I know like as we see the story progress, we're constantly on the edge of our seat wondering what's gonna happen next and if she'll make it out okay, because she's like in these like dangerous situations, and we just become drawn to her, and we just it's like human nature to want someone to like be safe and to stay safe and to just be okay. And I think like it kept me on the edge of my seat, and yeah, for that I really enjoyed this film.
I feel like we really connect with this girl. She's doing the most to be a caretaker for her family, to provide, which involves doing some shady business in order to support them. And there was one shot in particular that I really liked. It was a technical shot, which was it was a perspective from inside of the drainage pipe as she pulled the money out, and I really liked that. I loved the twist ending and just seeing her emotions change from pure frustration when she realizes that the bills were switched for counterfeit ones, and then realizes, oh my gosh, no, I still have the money. I still have the real money. And she kind of ends up winning at the end. And I feel like she earned that win, and we're all like rooting for her. So this was a great film. There was a lot to it. I would like to know more. Definitely like invested in the story, invested in the character, and yeah, it was fantastic.
They did a really, really fantastic job of building suspense, which is not always easy, especially in short films. There were like several great moments that happened when she kind of runs and hides as he's coming in, and then the next shot you see is her like underneath the windowsill outside. I thought that was really well done. And then obviously when she comes out of the house and he's standing in front of the car, she's been caught, obviously. Again, that was well done. So I just liked a lot of these good moments that aren't always as easy to pull off, but all of them worked well because they were able to build the suspense and they were able to get you to care about the characters from the beginning, and you really want this girl to win. You want this girl to be able to have a fresh start, and so I thought altogether it was really well done, and it came together nicely.
It was all about the audio. I like how musical the introduction was. The car passed by with music booming and a moment of pause. Then the main character is listening to her music in her headphones, and then she pauses her music playback. The transitions and fades there were really smooth. Then trains blared, cars rushed in the distance, dogs barked, neighborhoods over, so it felt really authentic. I thought it was clever when she blew out her candles and the power went out too, very synchronized. The sound mixers did a great job on this one. Even the light jingles as she drives off, finds the counterfeit cash in her glove box. Her muffled scream into her shirt sleeve was delivered well. And this one was all about the sound mix, again, for me, and coming of age as well, and controlling one's destiny.
It is a complex story of events eclipsing on the young girl's 18th birthday. And I think that Jacob Schwartz deserves immediate credit for pulling off that nearly close to 2.5 minute long Steadicam shot, which I think characterizes the girl's Tira Huckabee's character quite well, in that she lives in just a disordered settlement. We're not very clear on what the story is between the dead drops and the counterfeit money, and whether that they're running a money laundering operation. Through very little plot exposition, we're just straight up giving 10 minutes of life on the street, which I think can be very eye-opening and provocative to many theater goers. And it is it's a very different life, and I think that what impressed me the most was how Tyra Huckabee's character just seems like such a regular person, yet she is incorporating this life of crime probably because she just has to.
As a story that uses visual storytelling well to kind of steer the audience into not the wrong direction, but not necessarily the right direction either. For example, when we have the scene of the girl lighting her birthday candles, and then we pan and see that there's a gun nearby, our minds immediately go to suicide, which is not necessarily what is being planned here, as we come to understand that she's a criminal accomplice. So it's left kind of uncertain, right? What was the purpose of the gun being there in that moment? And moments like that are really important in these kinds of short films because they keep us paying attention and they keep us on edge to see what the end result of these behaviors is ultimately going to be. And we see a split in this. We see two criminals, quote unquote, finally decide to go their separate ways after what seems like a long-established relationship with one another. So at the heart of this piece, it's about separation. It isn't about crime. It isn't about justice or anything like that necessarily. It's about parting ways.